Hmm. Hey, Nagsy, what's going on? Can you hear me okay? I don't know if the volume's working here. It shows that the mic is working. I'm just trying to get some music set up. Not bad, just drawing this character that you see here. I don't know if it zooms in here. Some music set up. Oh, never mind. I didn't mean to get it right on her crotch there. Yep, sounds good. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna play some music. It's just it might seem a little bit far away. Uh, Video game music. Got to play the copyright free stuff, you know. Uh, no, I will get struck for that. Let me just do SNES. It's always a safe bet. There we go. Yeah, this is a character that I kind of just created messing around with Procreate. So um, still don't know what I'm gonna call her. I have Static Fire already set up for her, but you know, I change the names every now and then. You know, I don't stick to just one name. I got some cool stuff from Brian. Oh yeah, I saw that you got a OG Xbox and was it a Dreamcast or Sega Saturn? That's really cool. He sent you that stuff. Yeah, what I'm doing here is I'm just grabbing a little bit of purple for this, well, latex or whatever she's wearing. Still don't know what exactly it's gonna be. And then, crap. Uh, then sharpen some of these edges up, like right here. Just straighten that out a little bit. There we go. Yeah, it feels good to stream. Actually at my parents' house, so I'm just streaming from the basement. Hopefully the stream handles. Hopefully there's not like any lag. It was OG Xbox, PS2, and some other stuff I can't remember. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'll have to send you some OG Xbox games I really haven't touched. Um, my OG Xbox does not really work too well, so I only paid 20 bucks for it, so I'm not too sore about it. But there are some games that I just haven't. I don't think I'm ever gonna get to, so I'll send those to you. And then what I did here is I have an overlay, or the original drawing over it. So then I use that for reference. So like right here on the lettering on her leg and her arm, I'm gonna use a different brush for that. Um, it's just picking the colors, always rough. Now I'll do it like an orange. And that way, when I do block it in, I can always bring it down to the other layer, kind of mess with it. Because you could always make a layer multiply. So this is like a multiply layer. Um, where is it? Whoa. So what it does, it blends the top layer with the bottom and makes the color. But you can do a bunch of stuff with this, and so you can color dodge it. But for now, I'm just going to keep it like that. And then just tighten it up a little bit. Just erase these little areas. There we go. Screwed up a little bit there. Happy little trees. Happy little trees. Zoom out a little bit here so I can see the chat. And then I'm going to make the brush a little bit smaller here. Just add little bits here. And now I can kind of mess around with the yellow on her uniform here. So I'm going to pick that, go to the yellow, and I'm going to take this overlay off. Actually leave it on, the way I can know where I'm going. There we go. Just helps me know where I'm at and what I need to block in and what I need to leave open. So it kind of helps me keep an idea of where I'm going to go with it. And then a little bit here. And a little bit across this way. And now when I take the overlay off, it kind of leaves an idea of what I was going for. This layer is actually underneath, so I need to move it up. That's good there. Doesn't look like much yet, but once I blend it out and add a little line work and little details, little flourishes, it'll really pop out, you know. I'm gonna pop out the chat real quick here just so I can get an idea of who's in the chat. It's not my normal setup. It's really uncomfortable. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but like I literally have the iPad on my lap. So a little bit cramped, and this chair is not comfortable. Love jamming out to some Street Fighter music. And now, since I already have it finished, I'm going to merge it down with this layer. So now I can blend it. The blending's good to kind of make the edges crisp and make it more realistic, even though this is not a realistic art style. But from drawing real life recently, a lot of those tricks that I learned from drawing real life, I'm using in my fantasy art and concept art. So yeah, I've pretty much worn out this Apple Pencil. That tip is sharp, and it's supposed to be like really rounded, so it's kind of weird, but I'm not gonna complain. And now we go to a really dark red for this area here, and it really intensifies that depth perception. And erase that area there, just sharpen it up. I like not having an outline anymore because it really adds to the piece. Just makes it look a lot nicer when there's no outline. So it's nice to do that. When I don't have an outline, it just creates makes the lines inside look a lot more crisp. Hey. Live. What's up? Hey guys, just give me one quick second, okay? I'll be right back.
and there's several documentary proof of it. My family.
Oh, wrong one. Hold on 1 second, guys.
Sorry.
All right, I'm back. All right. Can you guys see me okay? I feel like it's kind of dark in this area. So I'm hoping that it's doesn't distract everybody here. All right. There we go. All right. So what I was doing with her was sharpening this shield up, and I just erased it. I don't know why I was erasing it. So I bring back the overlay, and it does look like it matches, so I'm going to keep coloring that area. Oh man, I keep erasing. All right. And the brush I'm using for this is the Edge Control Smooth. So Edge Control Smooth, what it does is it creates a really fine edge, really crisp edge, but then on the other side it kind of has this flourish, so it's good for blending. I tend to use this a lot, and I've been using round render and sharp render, and then thin solid for the line work, and it's been working really well. I'm really enjoying it. Shout out to Jing Sketch. His brush pack has been time saver. It's brought out so much of my art. It's crazy. Entertain 45. Thanks for coming on, brother. Good to see you in here. You know, it's weird because I feel like I don't hear from people. I don't think you're in the chat for the wrestling chat in Twitter, right? I always feel like I'm out of the loop, you know, like, because I'm always drawing. Even when I'm in other people's streams, I'm always drawing nonstop. I know some people enjoy streams more than just regular videos, so I know that I can count on you and Slayer and Miss K and Not Another Game Collector. You guys always show up to the streams, and that's awesome. I wish I could stream more. Sometimes like right now I'm at my parents' house, so the only way I was able to get away from the kids was to step away. And I know as soon as they find out I'm streaming, they're gonna come down here. So I have to kind of get as much done as before they come and take over my stream. But I feel like the red, the orange, and the yellow is really working for her costume. It goes really well with the blue. NBA Jam. Alright. So it's looking good. The next thing I'm going to work on is just adding another lighter color to the costume. This isn't the highlight per se, it's just the reflective material. Ooh, drink too much soda. And then once that looks good, I'm gonna go in and really touch this up. And a little bit here, a little reflection on the pelvic region. Try to keep it PG here. And a little bit down here. You know, one really good tip when I digitally draw is I get really bored in one area, so I will move around, and it keeps me from really getting really bored. I have this image right here. Where did it go? Where did it go? Alright, so this guy right here has been a struggle because the skin alone has been such a stressful part. So I've been going back and forth. Like, I'll work on it and then I'll go to something else, and it's always nice to keep going back and forth. Where did he go? Oh no. Oh, there she is. Thought I lost her. And then these gray areas I need to touch up too. So I'm going to grab a little lighter of a gray to really bring out those grays there. And I'm going to color dodge this too, so that way it looks more, there's more texture to it. So if I get another layer and I say color dodge, so color dodge, this is what happens with that. Kind of gives it a little bit of a texture. So I'm going to add that on later. I'm not going to do that right now. Oh, delete. But it's a good little trick for adding more to it. So especially if you want to bring stuff out and you don't want to keep going over with the pen. But here now I'm going to just take that overlay, and then I'm just going to blend out a little bit just to bring out some of the little details in that armor. Hopefully the music's not too loud. Just let me know in the chat if it's too loud. I'm going to move this over. Oh. Dashboard. Let's put the dashboard there. And when I blend, it helps me figure out where certain light's going to hit it. So if you zoom in here, that leg, and you can go with the eraser and just get those little finicky flat layer out and really bring out the shape of the foot and part of the leg here. And you could even add a couple dents in it to make it look like it's been battle worn. So you can kind of dent that area. And then you just grab that same color, just switch it a little bit, switch the hue a little bit, and just like that, it looks like dented armor. But you see how many different colors are in just one piece of armor. And then we can soften it up with the blender. I like to blend a lot. I don't know, it's just something really therapeutic about blending. I don't know why. It's very, very calming. then put a little bit there. And then we're gonna kind of fuse this area here because you can see the gray from the background, and we want to make it all one piece. And there you go. Now all that color that I put into the suit is now coming into play because now I'm blending it all together. And fix that little area. Fix that one there. Right there. So it's a lot of give and take. You add something, you take it out. I really enjoy digital art now. I hated it for the longest time, but I have to embrace it because it really is the future of art creation. You know, video games, movies, cartoons. Going forward, that's going to be the way that, you know, nothing's created traditionally anymore. Even people who do traditional art still rely on computers to get stuff done. Alright, so I'm going to use this thin render solid, which is nice because it's a very fine point. And I'm going to use a lighter gray and really accentuate these little areas here. Oh, that was Kirby. A little bit there. A little bit there. And then go to the darkest gray. Really push it in those regions. A little bit more. The happy little details. The happy little details. And then I could even add the scuff marks now. I don't have to do it. I tend to do it later, so I'm not horribly worried about it. So now the edge control, this area here, I'm just gonna really get in there to give it that intense, you know, light to dark. So this would be the dark, light, and then light's usually hitting from this middle region here too. So those little things you kind of play with, and because this is not a real character, you can kind of let your imagination run wild and just play around with it. You know, that's part of the magic of drawing from your imagination is you don't have to follow true physics. You know, real world physics doesn't matter here. But you still have to have some level of believability in order to make people believe that that thing can exist. And obviously, this character wouldn't exist in the real world because it's got this huge hand cannon and weird proportions and that's a good thing I didn't add the marks there. And now when I take this this drawing overlay off, it looks a lot more finished and detailed. I keep feeling like I'm going to miss the chat, so I keep looking up. Alright, so that's something I can go back to later. It's not really a rush right now, but it's just messing around with it, and like I said, that can really bore some people, so I totally understand if you get tired of an area. Just stepping away from it is always a good practice. Oh no, Okay, I picked it right. I do that all the time. I'll start drawing something on one layer, and then I'm like, crap. And it'll look good too. Like I'm like, oh, I don't want to lose that. Man, Killer Instinct, such a good album. I remember I had the Super Nintendo cartridge that came with that CD, Killer Cuts, and I played that thing until it wouldn't read in a CD player anymore. Oh. Alright, so now, come on. So now I'm gonna grab a little bit a different hue to really sharpen this end over here. And now blend it out. Blender's a little too small there. And now it looks a lot more like an overlay on the uniform. So this character, she's part cyborg, and she uses this huge claw-like machine that grabs and then it brings it in, tears it apart inside like a grinder. Obviously, she is a villain. I like drawing villains. And now what I'm doing is softening the hair up, because you see these edges here look really jagged. I'm going for a more painterly look. So for blending, I'm using Jing's Sketches different blend brushes. So there's Master Smudge, Master Jittery, Master Noisy, Painting Wisp, and then Painting. I love the Painting one. Edge Softener is really cool too. This is what Edge Softener does. It does exactly what it says. It softens the edge, but then it leaves kind of like a artifacting. So you can go in with the eraser and really clean that up. And you can even hold it to straighten it. And now it just looks really good. I'm going to move back to the painting blender. And as you can see here, it's really pushing those lights together. And you could even bring the skin up a little bit. So I do work in different layers, but I like having everything in one layer because if something doesn't match it, I can kind of play around with it. And then flare the hair a little bit to make it look more like hair. And then just using the eraser. Just really playing around with that eraser. The eraser is just as important of a tool, if not more, than the actual brushes and line work. Because you can really help bring stuff out just by erasing. Now, I used to be a big I really didn't like erasers. I would always just leave the mistakes in there, but having the ability to erase is super awesome. In traditional art, not so much, but in digital art, it's a really good tool. So you just by erasing those little areas, really brought that out. And now I'm gonna mess with the skin here. We're just gonna go a little darker, different hue, and just really push that edge there. And then with the blender, just blend it out. A lot of the same things are working in tangent with each other. Whoa. I don't know why I played a commercial. Ah, I'm on Art Sensei Plays. It's not my YouTube YouTube Premium. It shouldn't have played a commercial. Alright, so SNES, video game, music. There we go. And we'll start back to where it was. Super Turrican. Super Turrican has some of the best music. Soften that up a little bit there too. And erase a little bit there. Nothing ever feels done when you're doing digital though. I think that's the biggest gripe I have, is I always find new things that I can add and remove, and it just never feels done. But this is what I was touching up here. So I'm gonna go for more of a neutral gray. And neutral gray here. Everything tries to match. Obviously the reflection is going to be a little different on every piece in her armor. And then go a little lighter. Lower the brush size. Really push those values out. So it really helps bring the picture out more. There we go. Alright, just give me one quick second. Where are you? There we go. I forgot to share it with Twitter, so I'm going to share it right now. Alright, here we go. Drawing live after so long. Miss everybody. Swing by. There we go. Alright. Alright. Back to Turrican. And you see it really, once you blend it, it's amazing. It really just does, it's like magic. It is art magic. Love it. Really fun. I mean, that's what art's all about. It's about having fun. If I'm not having fun, I really don't like doing the art. You know, the art's really got to grab me and have fun with it, you know. So right here, I'm just touching this up. And then what I'm eventually going to do is I'll grab the thin render solid, and what I'll do is I'll grab like a really dark gray here, and then just start adding little flourishes to the armor to really bring it out. And what it does, it just creates this whole new look to it. By staying away from the outside line work and only working from inside out, it really pops it out. I'm just sharing the stream with the guy who created these brushes. His name is Jing Sketch. Jing Sketch is his art name, but he created these brushes that I've been using, and I can't say enough good things about them. they've changed completely how I look at digital art. It's been awesome. I think I messed something up there. I did. I'm so glad I saw it because I knew it looked awkward. So this this piece right here is separate. It goes along her collarbone and down to her breast. Then the shoulder plate, just like on this side, should be the same. So I'm gonna fix that. So I'm gonna grab this one and then go to Edge Control Smooth. Drop the brush size a little bit and really kind of show that it's a different armor piece. And what you can do to really make it appear like a different one is to change the color value of the other. So that way, if I am looking at it without the drawing, so now I've removed the overlay. Now I can tell that that was not intended to be one solid piece. It's always good to keep your line drawing so you know exactly where you're at. You know, it's there's no confusion like I just did there. I should practice what I preach, right? Alright, so here we go. I'm not working on the outline, I'm working from within, and then really darken this area. I'm going to switch to darker blue there, and just kind of rub against it, and then blend it. And lower the opacity a little bit of the blender, just to give it a more painterly look. And then right here, just touch that area up. And now it looks more like it's coming from this part instead of it just hanging there. You know, it's little tricks you can do to really make it pop out. Make it yours. It's Maybelline. Alright. So sometimes I'll blend and I'm not too happy how the blending came out. Usually what you have to do from there is just touch it up again. Especially when you get to lighting. Lighting is some of my favorite. I used to hate it. I used to hate lighting. Now I love it because lighting can really bring out the character, bring out the values. It turns something really flat and just brings it to life. And I'm just gonna push that there. So the blending tool is great for, oh snap. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, so Jing couldn't make it. He just messaged me saying that he's caught up in a project. But I appreciate him reaching out. Got some Earthworm Jim playing here. Good vibes. So I'm really gonna bring that out. And it does look a little bit different than the line work I was intending. I guess it looks pretty close. So it's really coming together and just adding those little things. Whoa. No, I do not want to. Whoa. What did I do? So now I'm going to use the same edge control for this belt line here. So we're going to grab that color that I used up there just to give it some uniformity. Now the light is hitting, like I said, from the right of the character's so, or the character's left. So this is where I'm going to get most of the value. So just pushing that value in there. Erase that a little bit there. And then over here on this corner is where I'm going to darken it a little bit. So I'm going to go here, switch the hue. So it's a lot of messing around, experimenting, just trying new things, and eventually something will stick. And that's the nice thing about getting brush packs. It helps you stay on your feet and experiment with new things that you normally wouldn't. I always say it's good to have a warm-up sketch of the day, just something to get your mind ready to draw, ready to get going. So right here is where I'm going to start blending the leg region. So just blend that out. Oh yeah. Man, Donkey Kong had some of the best music. Everyone hates on Donkey Kong Country 3, but I thought the music was pretty good. It's not as good as the first two, but I think it's because the direction changed a little bit on the music there. And just blending that out. This is very therapeutic. Just seeing stuff come to life just from pushing 2-3 colors together is really cathartic. And then here, what you could do is you could just grab another green, really push that, push those values there, and give it an edge. Because right now it just looks like a old moldy sandwich. So here, and then the overlay drawing. The overlay drawing. So yeah, so I have a little center piece there. I'm gonna lower this a little bit more. So I have that little center piece there. And there you go. Once you blend it, it'll come to life. And that little piece right there is sloping. So if you give it that look like it's gonna slope with the blending tool, it'll really make it come to life. I gotta erase this though. It bugs me when I see it. Now when you take that overlay off, it does look like it's sloping, so no. Oh yeah. Little baby steps to get that finished piece. It really makes you happy, you know? Alright. Now that I have that going, you can start shaping it. And the way you shape it is using the same paint that you just put down. Just shape it to match your original drawing. In my original drawing I had some screws here, so if you push these out, see how it makes that, it really is magic. magic, I tell you. Alright, so now that's there, what I like to do to make it pop is I look across the color wheel. So across the color wheel you have, it looks like an orange, but you're going to keep the same saturation of color, so then you just make the brush a little smaller, and you go in there, and those opposite colors are going to create this weird and crazy stuff. And you can go a little bit brighter in that same hue. And now that shape has kind of created itself. It has brought itself into fruition. Lighting is really cool, because with the lighting, it's going to make these armor pieces kind of come to life, giving it more reflection that you just don't get with just messing with these paints. I knew it had to be Actraiser. Alright, so I'm just going to touch that up a little bit. Alright, so then this edge here, just going to add a little bit there. And it looks like that little SF is being finicky. Alright, there you go. Alright. That's the one thing about working with layers. It can really throw you off if you don't remember where something was. So now I can erase this little area here. But that outline really sneaks up on you. So I would have to fix that with just blending it out a little bit. And then you can shape it. You shape it. That painting smudge is worth its weight in gold, because it gives it that painterly look, but it's very good for shaping. You can really shape something and make it come to life. You know, art, comic books, movies, it's all about bringing something that doesn't exist and bringing it to life. We are all Dr. Frankenstein. So it's fun to make stuff just come to life. Oh man, I can't stand the Mario music. I think Mario Odyssey was the first game where I actually enjoyed the Mario music the most. That I think it was Kong City, or the Donkey Kong City. The music there was phenomenal, but I can't stand the Super Mario song. I gotta switch it. There we go. Can't go wrong with that with X, you know. All right. Oh, so cold down here. All right. So now, like I said, I like to move around the piece. So once I kind of mess with one area, I'll move to the next, so I don't get bored. So now I want to work on the gun. So that gun is going to be such a fun time to render. So here we go. So I'm going to change the blender to probably the noise. I like the noise one. So it gives it this nice texture to it when you blend it together. So there we go. The blend is great. I love it, and you know, alternating, so the master jittery is really good too. I really enjoy that blend. So it's almost like the painter blend, um, but it makes it a lot more softer. So it's not as painterly looking. So if you going for that look, then I would definitely recommend that brush. Alright. I am killing my Apple Pencil right now. I am so sorry, buddy. I promise I will fix your tip. Alright, so I'm going to switch back to the painter, and then I will touch that up. And then go back to the jittery. Keeps you on your toes. Oh, noisy. There we go. And because the gun is, you know, like gunmetal, that's where you can use your color burn and color dodging. So I want to go for more vivid light. I like how that looks. I'm going to keep that one. And now that the darkness from that cannon is bringing out the color from the suit. So everything works in tangent. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to create a background, because now everything's kind of fully colored and rendered. Then I like to create a texture background to really bring it to life. So what I'm going to do is take the edge control, bump it up to the highest level, and then grab a color that's not on this. And so, you know, I have purples, I have yellows, blue, there's a dark blue. The only color I really don't have a lot of here is probably, you know, your almost lime green. So I'm going to grab that. Oh, wrong layer. No, that's the right layer. Okay. I don't know why it's doing that to that layer, but am I over it? I guess I can't do vivid light yet. We will do that later. So for now, I'm just gonna and then go in an opposite direction, kind of like a turd green. And there we go. Now I kind of have something to work with. You could duplicate the layer, makes it more intense. Merge down, and then grab an even lighter one. And now you have an idea where you get some extra light source. So all this background can be like some cool sci-fi-ish type, you know, laboratory, whatever your mind melds. So now I have that. I'm happy with it. I'm gonna mess around with it later. Now I can go back to the character. So now we're gonna go to the gun again. So we had the noisy. So I'm gonna mess with that. And I'm going to bring the drawing back up just so I can get the shape of this weapon down to how I had it in the drawing. So I'm just going to erase the excess. So erase that. I'm not a big fan of Mario. So apologize if you guys wanted some Mario music. Let's see, come on. Alright, I could do Donkey Kong. We are a Donkey Kong family. There's no place for Mario in this house. Pokemon, Donkey Kong, Gears of War, Assassin's Creed, but no Mario. Don't like Mario. It's all about Luigi anyways. Luigi's never gotten the rightful place in Nintendo lore. Alright, so now I hope you guys can see that okay. I'm going to move me down there so you can see it a little bit better, because I feel like since this is up here, my face was in the way. So I'm going to... So just have fun with it. Just mess around. You know, really bring it to life. I'm really bringing out those claws now. And then you're gonna see the shape just come to life, because I like blocking stuff in, and Jing says in his tutorials that blocking in is a good method, because you're getting the shape down without you know relying on line work. This one I used a lot of line work, and that was just, you know, my comic book background follows me everywhere I go. So having the ability to use line work has always been useful. But now that I've been doing more painterly stuff and digital painting in and itself, you don't rely so much on line work as you do just bringing stuff to life, bringing that shape out, almost sculpting. I will stand by the fact that digital painting feels more like sculpting than it does painting, because you're shaping something into, you're melding it. Bring that shape out of that gun. And there. Hold on 1 second. My phone will die, so I might have to switch the music to the desktop. Alright. I just shared it on Facebook too, so that's always good. I'm going to switch this to the desktop music here. There we go. Where did it go? I had it pulled up. Alright, now I'm just gonna have to do alright. Can't go wrong with Thunder Force. Alright. Yeah. Rock on. Alright. So I don't know if the shape is really going to pop out until I do the line drawing. 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, there's the dashboard. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I already shaped the gun. So now we're going to shape the backpack. It's like her jetpack type deal here. I'm going to use the eraser and try to follow the line work as much as possible. So that way when I do get rid of the line work, it'll look like the shape that I created. Let's start that over. Shape there. Alright, so now going back to the blending, and now I'm going to switch back to the painter and get rid of that drawing again. And then this is where the imagination is going to take over. Bring out that imagination. Alright, so now I'm really happy how it's coming out. So it's mostly just kind of playing around with the colors. So here we go. Now, that's not the shape that I originally had. Okay. So this is all one claw here. It's a lot of guessing when you don't have the line work, but I don't like to miss spots. And with the line work, I feel like I miss certain spots. But then without the line work, I can't remember what part is what. So, yeah. Whoa. Oh, I forgot that was the edge control. Edge control smooth. All right. And it really brings out the shape, you know? Alright. And now I'm going to grab the eraser, make it really tiny so I can get in that little crevice right there. And really sharpen that edge. Looking good. Good, good, good. Now, now that I have kind of the shape going, now I can really go in with a darker color to really push out these values. So I'm going to switch to a purple, dark purple, and really get in those little crevices. And then a little bit here. And here. And this part can stay kind of blended out. So, hey, Gamerthon, what's going on? Sitting here waiting for Dead by Daylight to download. Is it on Game Pass or something? Because if it's on Game Pass, I'll download it. Because I don't play online too much, but I've been playing Roblox with the kiddos the last few days, and that game, I don't get it, but they have fun. We play Theme Park Tycoon, the PS4 version. They have some awesome DLC. Oh, I got my PS4 fixed, so once I get back home, I plan to do a little bit more with it, but I've just been playing more Xbox than anything lately. Make it look like it's coming out of that edge there. And now, seeing it from this angle and then seeing it here, two different things, so I try to zoom in as much as possible just to give me that look. This is where the cartridge and the whole 9 yards is sticking out of. Now we're going to blend that out. I had to play some video game music. Feed the Wolf, thanks man, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, I never know what to expect when I stream, because it's always like off the cuff. Like I don't really plan for it, because time is precious. So I'm always like, well, is anybody gonna show up? So it's nice when people show up. It makes me feel good. So here I'm kind of playing with the light, because like I said, the light's coming from this direction, but still light reflects off things, it bounces off every place, so you can really mess with the light however you want when it's not a real person. Oh, it's Shining Force. I knew it had to be Shining Force. Shining Force has like the really nauseous music, you know? Alright, so now I'm happy how the shape of the weapon's coming out, but oh, nope. The values aren't there yet for me, so I'm going to do some stuff to really bring that out. So I'm going to go to an extreme color here. Really bring out the shape of the weapon. And go from that angle there. And you could even continue this same shape repetition over here. You're never stuck to one idea. You can go in any direction you want with it. You don't have to stick to one thing when it comes to concept. Concept art you know, unless you're working for an employer who says, you know, I want you to concept this character. When you're doing it for yourself, whoa, swiped. When you're doing it for yourself, you can kind of go balls to the wall, and everything goes. So I'm just doing that edge there. And here, just really push it out. You don't have to go too crazy with it, but and here, I like how shapely that is, so I'm not really going to mess with it too much, but just add a couple of purple accents. Because what I'm going to do here inside the gun is I'm going to make a glow. I'll show you right now. I'm going to grab another layer, and we're going to use the same purple, bring up the intensity a little bit, and get in those areas there. So when you do that, and then go there, and then just blend it out just a little bit, not too much. And then add a little bit of a lighter hue or a lighter intensity. Now, this is my favorite part. Like I said, I love messing with lighting. So you grab it, duplicate it, and now you can actually do a color dodge. But let's, I'm going to duplicate that and then color dodge this. No, it's not working. Okay, color dodge this. There we go. Now this top layer, add a little bit of Gaussian blur. You can duplicate that. And now it's glowing. So now, on the actual gun, what you can do is grab that same color, which is like a really bright, intense, and just go on the claws. Because now there's a new light source, and it's coming from inside the weapon. And you can actually do the same thing for that. So if you did another layer on top of that, you do that same. And then now you can add actually Gaussian blur. Actually, let's not do that. Let's duplicate it first. Duplicate that. Gaussian blur. And now it looks like all this flame and energy is coming out of the weapon. It's a cool technique, and it's something that I've been playing with a lot with Procreate, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. So now, to continue on with the actual weapon, sorry, I got sidetracked there. I just wanted to show that. I always thought it was cool to do that. But inside here, add those little purple accents. And just so that it continues the shape, go into the direction of these little, the mechanics of the gun is that it's an energy claw and also kind of shreds everything that goes into it. But this is the intercooler. This keeps the weapon from overheating. So these cooling vents are going into the weapon tray. So this coil with the whole 9 yards is sticking to the backpack. So it's kind of all, you kind of have to have that in your head when you're creating something like this, or else you know, the science behind it doesn't really work. then really push that out there. And then I'm just gonna go to like a violet to make that bottom part. Now when we blend it, it's really gonna show up like it's a three-dimensional piece. And that's what you want. You want it to look three-dimensional even though it is a 2D image. It's all an optical illusion. Now it turned this huge blob into something new and really fun. And just start shaping. You can just shape everything. Shape the world. And yep, I've officially killed my pencil. This thing is so sharp now. I'm going to try to keep drawing without having to switch it. Looking much better. And we can actually connect these. It's what I thought. Always use your reference. So the light would be escaping through that little tunnel. We're going to use that. Just a touch. And then right here. So now I got the shape of the gun going. Now I can move on to another area to kind of focus on. So I'm going to go back to her, kind of mess around with the belt a little bit more, and start shaping it. And it's just fun. I have so much fun with this. And that's what it's all about. It's just letting your creativity out. So much negativity in the world, and grown adults acting like 5-year-olds. A lot of high school drama. It's always nice to get away from all that. And the best way to do it is right at your desk. It's easy to get sucked into negativity, but it's really hard to find Zen. And if you find your Zen, which for me is working on my art nonstop, Sometimes I'm up till 5, 6 in the morning just drawing, and I think tonight's going to be one of those nights. So I guess the benefit right now is that school's pretty much over, so I can focus almost entirely on my art and not school projects and stuff like that, which, you know, school projects have been great. They've been helping me a lot and growing in my own skill, but it's always nice to be able to just get to do your own thing every once in a while. So I'm gonna darken that up a little bit, just a little too flat for me. Yeah, I've always said when I started this channel is that I didn't want to be a part of YouTube drama. You know, I reposted or re-uploaded, whatever you call it, one of Tipster's videos for the Suzy Lou thing, because I do believe that copyright abuse and deplatforming is a problem, but I don't want to be looped into that. You know, I did it more in solidarity, because no one should have their channel removed, you know, unless they're actually a true danger to society. So that's just me ranting. And just let me know if the music's too loud. But yeah, that's just how I feel about the whole thing. Is I'm here to draw, not to commentate on people being bad. There's a lot of bad apples on the platform. The best thing to do is just do you and just try to be happy, because this world can stink sometimes. You know, I always look at the glass half full, and the pandemic has been more of a glass half full for me, because I'm home with my family. I haven't had to drive to school or work, so more funds to do other things. I was able to invest in my art. I got a couple of brush packs from Jinx Sketch, Trent Kaniga, who's, you know, I've been following since I first got on YouTube, and got some cool art supplies. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was still in school, you know, or traveling to school, because I was spending almost $40-50 a week on gas. So I've gotten more time to work on my art since I'm home more. So I don't look at the pandemic, you know, the pandemic is a bad situation, but you have to look at the bright side of things and not always gloom and doom. That's just not the type of person I am. And I know my kids are going to look back at this as their favorite school year, because we've been, you know, going out to the parks, playing games outside, playing Roblox together, which I really don't like that game. But you know, it's fun to be with family, even though they can drive you crazy. Glass half full. So now pretty much the picture is going to be taking what you've done and just keep beefing it up over and over until you feel it's finished. The trick is to never overwork a piece, especially when you're working for clients, because you don't want to undersell yourself. You know, if you're going to dedicate 10 hours to a piece, you want to make sure that you you're charging for 10 hours and you're not charging for less than that or more than that, because you end up getting sucked into a piece for 12, 13 hours, but you're getting paid for 10. It's just not good. It's not a good practice. So it's good to kind of work just enough where you feel it's right, but don't overwork a piece. I felt like I was getting to that point with the drawing portion of this. I'm like, okay, I think it's ready for color. Because I was starting to add all these little details to her, and I'm like, this is going to be a pain, Studio Nintendo, what's going on, brother? Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you coming on, and hope you and your family are doing well. Was just actually talking about all the good that can come from this situation. I know with social media and the news, everything can be doom and gloom. So it's nice to kind of step back and look at things glass half full type, and not doom and gloom. We'll get through all this like we always have. It's just good to have your outlets, gaming, comic books, movies. It's nice to know that, video game art, movies are so important. It's literally what some people, all they have right now. So glass half full. Just being that one positive voice. I actually got to do a lot of genealogy with my wife, which has been fun. We keep finding new and new information, and it's just been really exciting. So it's really nice to spend time and learn something about yourself you didn't know. I had no idea that I had Dutch family. I'm part Nigerian. I forgot. Already Sierra Leonean. Waiting for a game to download. Oh wait, what happened? I did Ancestry for my parents. It was pretty cool. It's so much fun. I found out so much about myself. Like I knew I was gonna get, like you said, you're gonna get the typical Spanish. But I got so much other information. I have Dutch family, Irish, British. I have a lot of Greek, which is cool. I told my wife, when I was playing Assassin's Creed, I was actually probably playing as one of my relatives. Yeah, same here. Yeah. I was actually born in San Juan, so yeah, it's crazy though. And I have Native American. Yeah, no, it was like, I don't know if I could probably pull it up here. Let me show you guys. 23andMe. I haven't tried the desktop version of 23andMe, so this will be new. It was a bummer. I was looking for your name, hoping that we were family, but it didn't pop up. There's a lot of Padillas though, which is pretty cool. Oh, what the hell? Okay, caps off. What? Did I do? god. It's so cold down here. Just leaking. Okay, sign in. Hopefully that didn't screw up my 23andMe. Alright. Okay. I'm in. Ancestry. Ancestry overview. Is this it? Okay, yep. Alright. So now let me share the desktop. Alright. Nope. There we go. Alright. I don't know, can you guys see it? It's so cold in my parents' basement. Whew. Alright, so the European portion, I got 51.7%, which is mostly, oh no, don't, the phone does this too, like on my app. Alright, so Spanish, Portuguese, which I kind of figured, broadly Southern European, Greek, Balkan, then Northwestern Europe, French, British, Irish, and German. So then Sub-Saharan African, I got Nigerian, Ghanaian, Liberian, Sierra Leonean, New Guinea, and then Congo, I got Angolan, Southeastern Africa, so pretty much that whole continent. Native American, Asian, so yeah, it's a lot. And then I have Neanderthal blood. So that's fun. It's a lot. When I got the results, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was just like, what? That's a lot of stuff. And no one can ever say I'm racist now, right? Oh, really? Yeah, I got a ton, but no one's reached out to me. I've reached out to a couple of people because my wife's doing the family tree on Ancestry, and now she wants to do the DNA part for Ancestry.com so I can link the trees. But it's been fun. I feel like Batman doing detective work because we have to go through so much to find information, find stuff that matches. But I was hoping, now that I know I'm Native American, I was hoping I could get a scholarship, but it says you have to be at least 25% Native, and you have to be able to trace what tribe, which 23andMe doesn't really specify. So we're pretty much Saiyans. Puerto Ricans we are the mutts of the world. We were wondering why my little one Belle, she's very she has a lot of Asian features, so we were wondering where that came from. Oh, I'm gonna get copyright claimed for this one. Moonwalker. Alright, so bit different from theirs. I gotta do a profile for this as I did it for both. Oh, so you don't have a profile. I'm wondering if it might still pop up as we're. I'm hoping I can do the Ancestry one, but we spent a lot of money doing the 23andMe. So I told her, once everything calms down, I'll see how the finances are, because we're thinking about trading in our minivan. So trading stuff in is always kind of nerve-wracking. It's coming together good here. Are you okay? Are you okay, Eddie? I did 23andMe. Did you do 23andMe or Ancestry? We want to do Ancestry now because my wife already has an Ancestry account, so it would link all of our findings to the tree. Because there's a lot of things we're not sure that we found that we're not sure are actually part of our tree or not. Especially my family, because my grandma and my great-grandfather, their dates don't match for living, birth certificates, census, and all that stuff. Oh, okay, so it gives me more of a reason to try Ancestry then, because it ended up showing a lot of family in Florida for me. So, like I said, man, it'd be some funny stuff if we are related. But it's so cool. Well, with Puerto Ricans, it's that's why I told my wife, I'm like, it's why I never wanted to date a Spanish woman, because I was afraid I was gonna date my cousin. And lo and behold, it feels like I'm related to everybody. All the hits that popped up. I'm actually interested to try Ancestry's DNA too, because I might get different hits as far as background. I want to see what the differences are, because they have to have a different testing algorithm over 23andMe. It can't all be the same method, even though the genome doesn't lie, but it'd be cool to see if they pop up with different info. Because I want to know, what part of Africa, because Sierra Leone, I thought was kind of a newer country. So I just want to know how they got that info. Looking good. I like that. It's funny, some people think I'm Italian and I have 0%. Well, did you have Greek in yours? Because technically Greek is Italian, if you really look at genealogy-wise, because the southeastern peninsula, or not southeastern peninsula, but southeastern Europe, Greeks kind of spread out into Italy and Spain. So, but yes, we need an animus. it would be so cool to see what our ancestors saw. And I found out that I'm related to Charlemagne, who pretty much started France. That is so cool. And me being a history buff, like, that just made my day. Ancient Sparta. Yeah, I have Leonidas blood in me. Dude, I was really bummed out about the Japan thing, because my buddy at Ubisoft, he told me, you know, now I can say it because it ended up, it might be a side project he was working on, but I'm not terribly excited about Viking stuff, but it's Assassin's Creed, so I'll play it. I'm not gonna complain. I still haven't even completed Odyssey yet. I took a break from it, and then school kind of happened, and never went back to it. But yeah, the Viking is not really a time period I really care for. But if they add some new type of mechanic, I think that would be cool. Because there are warring peoples. So if they kind of spruce up the mechanics from Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I think it could work. I'll play it regardless because I freaking love Assassin's Creed. And now I have to play Sonic. I'm super open to new things, so even if the time period doesn't grab me, I'll still try it out. Kind of like I think it was the British Assassin's Creed. I think it was called Syndicate. I didn't care for the time period, but I ended up liking what I played of it. I can't wait to go back to it. But my mistake is that I bought it like a month before I bought Odyssey. So once I got Odyssey, I didn't even touch it. I do not recommend buying games in quick succession like that, because then you'll have games just sitting in your backlog forever. I think it's coming together good. Yeah, I think the last time I checked, I was at 120 hours, and even then, like, there was still so much for me to do. I got one of the endings, which was I don't want to spoil it if you haven't gotten this ending, but did you get the ending with the current day? I'll just say that, and I could have swore you shared that it blew your mind, but that's the ending I got, where it's modern day. That's all I'll say, in case somebody's watching who hasn't played it. But the only way you got that ending is by defeating the 4 monsters, and then going back to Pythagoras and unlocking the pyramid things. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't buy DLC, so kind of missed the boat on that, but I take that back. The one DLC I did buy was Mortal Kombat 11 because my wife really wanted to play as Sindel. And I told her, you know, that's the one game that we do play together, so I was just like, yeah, I'll do it. And now I'm kind of beating myself up because they're going to release RoboCop, and RoboCop's like my all-time favorite movie character next to Tron. Love Tron, but... And I finally started watching Uprising. Tron, I think Tron Uprising, or on Disney Plus. I can't believe I missed out for so long. It's such a good show. Animation's kind of wonky, but it's Tron. The music's kick-ass too. Yeah, Disney Plus has been hit or miss, but they keep putting classic and TV shows I haven't seen, so I guess it's worth it at that point. And I was a big fan of Even Stevens, and I saw that's on there. I kind of hope they put the 90s Mickey Mouse Club episodes. I kind of screwed that one up. Kingslayer, thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, it was a struggle to get to this point. I ran into a couple roadblocks. Tried to raid you the other day during your Niagara stream, but it ended it. Oh yeah, it actually didn't end. I kept bouncing off Canadian towers, and it kept saying connecting. So I kind of I didn't have a choice. It just ended the stream while we were there. Oh, no worries, Kingslayer. Thanks for coming on, brother. I appreciate it. It's always nice to hear from everybody. Entertain45 was in here earlier, so I'm hoping to stream a little bit more now that school's kind of caught up with. I wasn't sure if you're gonna do a Chad tribute. I might just because I know he was really close friends with Gene Snitsky, and he's taking it really hard. So I thought it'd be kind of cool if I did a tribute, I would send him the drawing. But if I do a tribute, I'd rather hand draw it instead of digitally draw it, so I could send it to him. I just don't like it when my friends are hurting. I always try to help them out, get them back on their feet. This playlist needs to stop playing Michael Jackson. Anything Michael Jackson always gets flagged. I'll check it out. I've been on Twitter cautiously. Like I haven't been on it too much. It's a great picture. You can use it as your model. All right, yeah. Let me make sure I save it. Whoa. My whole screen just disappeared. Is it the video? Oh yeah. Alright, cool. Let me... If I retweet it, then I can see it in my my history. Yeah, thanks, man. I'll definitely look at that. Yeah, I'll do like a speed drawing video. That'd be pretty. That'd be a great idea. Where to go from here? This is where I always get stuck. Once I get somewhat of the shape down, then I'm like, okay, what else can I do? And then I get bogged down with the little details. Because like I showed earlier in the stream, I'm working on a project, and this demon that I'm working on has been a complete pain in the ass for me. I'll show you. So this demon right here, yeah, it's a sad situation because it's just trying to spend time with his son, you know, and do something fun during this pandemic, and that happens, you know. Yeah, this one's been giving me a hard time. I can't seem to get the skin right. Just adding the texture to it. I mean, I could try using this noisy blender, because what it does, it kind of creates a texture all on its own. But yeah, he's been a pain. Thank you. I just saw me as CM Punk and you're yeah. Yeah, I kept the drawing because I can always go back to it if needed. Yeah, here it is. And then crap. So then I kept this picture here for reference, and then the one of you for the face. But you know, I always like to go back to a piece and kind of touch it up even more. Where is it? Where did it go? There it is. But yeah, that's been a really stressful piece. So in between that, I've been jumping to this for my comic book. And now with this iPad, I can get so much more done for my comic. It's ridiculous how much faster I can be with this over traditional my other tablet, my drawing tablet. This is called Procreate. It's only for iPads and iPhones, but the iPhone one is like a stripped down version of it. But this thing is better than Photoshop, in my opinion. You can just do so much more with this as far as making it look like a drawing. Photoshop's great for filters, but this just gives it that raw, traditional look to things that you just don't get with Photoshop. Even Sketchbook Pro, the other program I use, I can never get stuff to look this sharp and clean. And the brush packs that I have for this are just amazing. You see how I just turned that bunch of brush strokes into a shape, you know? Naxie's back! Thanks for coming back, brother. You left me hanging. I'm just kidding. I was talking to myself for like a good 20 minutes before I realized you weren't there anymore, and I'm like, oh, okay. But I think that's what I have to start doing from now on, is even if there's no one on the stream, is just talk about what I'm doing, and it just becomes more natural. because before, like, if no one was in the chat or I saw that there's 0 viewers, I would just be silent and just draw and hope people would show up because I'm drawing. But that's not a good technique with streaming, because someone might pop in for a second and they see you're just quietly drawing. They're not going to want to stay to watch the video. And right now, my main goal is to hit the 4,000 watch hours, because that's how I would get monetized. And my biggest downfall is that my videos are anywhere between 3 minutes to 6 minutes. So time frame, the YouTube app tells me people are watching like a minute of it. So you're heading to bed. Well, no worries, King Slayer. Thanks so much for coming on, brother. I appreciate it. I is doing some stuff at home. Oh no, dude, don't worry. I was just teasing you. I'm not gonna. You do what you gotta do. I was just joking. It felt really weird when I looked up and I was just like, oh, I've been talking to myself. But no, man. You know me. I appreciate anybody that comes in, even if it's for a quick second. Pop in, pop out. It means a lot to me, and I know when I stream is when people mostly come by. Because who really wants to watch a drawing video for, unless you're really into the art. And that's why I appreciate you guys, because I know this is not a gaming channel, and but the gaming community has been really supportive of the channel, so I always appreciate that. Holy crap! I would think it'd be done by now. Here at my parents' house, I am surprised this stream has been running this great, because my parents have like just the basic Spectrum speed. So I thought me running my stream plus the kids upstairs playing Roblox and my dad watching a movie, I thought the stream would lag like crazy. So I'm glad that it's working. But if I were to download a 35 gig game, it'd probably take the whole night. So I changed the shape a little bit, but I'm okay with that. Never get stuck to one design. So if something works, I'll keep it. I bought Night Trap for $1.49. Streaming is hard, especially when you only have like one person or no one. I used to do just get all quiet. Yeah, and that's the problem, is like if no one's watching, it's kind of hard to just talk to yourself. So now I try not to like really look at how many people are watching. I'll just talk. And that was the hardest thing to train myself to do, is because sometimes I'll get sucked into the drawing and it would be hard to focus on it and talk at the same time. So I think it's coming out okay. I still have to like kind of shape a couple things out here and there, but like I said, I get bored with an area and I have to move to another one, or else I get frustrated with it. And I don't want that to happen with this one, because you can do so much with just blending stuff out. I've been super stressed with stuff going on. I may have jumped the gun on saying I'm taking a break from YouTube for the rest of the year. Well, hey man, it's never flip-flopping. when you change your mind about something. If someone says you're flip-flopping, you know, screw them. You got to do what you got to do, man. And taking a break from YouTube or not, if you feel like you need it, then by all means. I think that's the biggest problem with YouTube is you can't let people dictate for you. And I mean, that's what a lot of the drama has been recently on YouTube, is people dictating for other people. And like I said, you know, other people aren't paying my bills, you know. So I'm going to do what I want to do, respectfully, you know. I kind of miss streaming now. Hey man, you can always jump back. Yeah, like Fabian said, just come back. Well, I wouldn't worry so much about the subscriber end, because you'll lose them and then you'll gain 14 more. It just comes with the territory. I guarantee you, when I end this stream right now, I'll probably have lost 2 subscribers, but that happens almost daily anyways. I notice that whenever I stream, I do lose subscribers, but it doesn't bother me. It is what it is. Your true supporters will stick by you. Like me and Fabian, we're not going anywhere. I probably don't go on the streams as much as I'd like, but you know, I'm there in spirit. I don't really watch a lot of streams. And if I do, I'll have it in the background, so I kind of lurk, which kind of sucks, because I'd like to get in on the chat sometimes, but I'll be literally having it on and while I'm drawing. I still lose people to this day. I notice I lose subs every time I stream, but the numbers always go up. Like, yeah, exactly. I can actually check it right now. My phone's about to die, but yep, that's exactly what happened. So I started streaming. I had 1337. Now that I'm streaming, it's 1336, and I guarantee you by later tonight it'll be 1337. So, you know, yeah, exactly. Yeah, just don't let it get to you, and you'll be fine. It really is a marathon, because I noticed a really good increase in subscribers the last 2 weeks, but my views have stayed the same. So to me, that's kind of a wash. I like to see the views go up. To me, that's a bigger indicator of the channel moving in the right direction over subscribers. Because people are fickle. People are gonna unsubscribe. You'll have YouTube kind of get rid of people. So it's one of those things that you can't rely on for, hey, is my channel doing good? It's more to see engagement, people actually watching. That's the bigger indicator on if your channel's doing good or not. I want to do my podcast. I should have you on sometime. Yeah, I'm down. I am down like a clown. I'm a big goofball, though, just warning you. I feel like I want to call it a night with her, but at the same time, like, I keep finding new little things I want to change here and there, and just I get excited. So that smooth edge, it's It's a thing of beauty. I mean, it's pretty amazing that I'm 600 plus subscribers. I didn't start at 0 after all. Yeah, I just didn't put out any episodes. I should be able to have you both on with Discord. Yeah, I finally have Discord. Kingslayer is actually the one that kind of got me to install it. So now I have it on the computer. I still don't know how to figure out getting on Discord servers. I don't get it. I tried to make one for my channel, and it didn't work out very well. Alright, I am going to change the color on this one to go for a gray. And then a little bit of lighter gray. Wunderbar. Now that's really going to make it look like a piece of alloy. She is alloy, not metal. Would either of you be available sometime the next month or so? Dude, I'm available all the time right now. Just let me know a good day and we can set it up. I think the only time that I'm really... Oh, crap, why did I do that? The only time that I'm really not available too much is during the day. Because, you know, I usually have the kids running around or, you know, I'm cutting the grass or something. But, yeah, in the afternoon or even in the evening, I'm down. And our time difference might be a benefit because I don't get to bed till late, so by the time it's like 11 o'clock here, you know, it'll be, I think it's 9 for you, so it should work out perfect. You're on mountain time, right? Yeah, just both of us or you know, one at a time. Just let me know. I did it again. Crap. Why did I do that? See, that really pops now. That kind of... And then just get in there. It's like a big game. There we go. Close that off. And then fix this. Her crotch looks really weird. Messing around with the crotches. It's almost 1 a.m. now. Holy crap, it's 2 in the morning? Oh. Yeah, man, just let me know. Whatever you want to talk about. I mean, I can talk about art. I can talk about video games, wrestling. I know you're probably not really into wrestling. Comics. A lot of stuff going on right now in comics. Kind of glad I'm not in that as much as I used to be. A lot of my friends have gotten laid off or furloughed, so I feel bad for them. But a lot of comic book companies are now switching to direct marketing because they used to go through this distributor called Diamond. and Diamond is now they closed because of the pandemic, and a lot of comic book publishers are now going to start selling directly to comic book shops, and it's going to be huge. I feel like it's going to help comic book stores, and comic book fans are, they're not going to get their books late anymore. Things are going to get there on time, but it's going to be a huge shift, and that change now in comics is a lot of my friends are feeling it. So it's like, I feel bad, but we can talk old school wrestling and recent games in your art. Yeah, I am so down. I am a die-hard Tron fan, so we could talk Tron. It's my all-time favorite movie, Tron and Tron Legacy. And how Disney, my theory, and this is just a theory, I don't have any proof to back this up, but my theory, the reason why we haven't got a Tron 3 is because around that time is when Disney bought Lucasfilm. So now they have Star Wars, and if you really look at Tron is pretty much digital Star Wars. So because of that, now they have no reason to make a Tron when they can make what they made off Tron, the whole Tron series off in one Star Wars movie. But that's just my theory. Yeah, I love Tron Legacy. And if my theory is correct, that's a bummer, because I like Star Wars, but I love Tron. I would take a Tron movie over Star Wars any day. I just love that world. I love everything about it. I love the lore. But I'm in the minority, I think. No pun intended. Alright, I think I'm going to call it a night there. She's still got a lot of work to do. A lot of color I got to add, but Tron in IMAX 3D was such an experience. I believe it. I watch it on my dad's. He has an older. Sharp TV, and it does 120 hertz, and so things move really smooth. And when you watch it with the 120 hertz, it's like mind blown. But yeah, it's definitely an experience. Yeah, that's around the time they released it. I think it was like right before Christmas. But I want to thank you guys for hanging out, being on for quite a bit here. I want to thank everybody that came on. I'll start from the top. Nagsy was here right at the beginning. Gamer Thumb, Entertain 45, Studio Nintendo, King Slayer, and could have swore there was another one I missed. Oh, Feed the Wolf. So thanks everybody for coming on. Appreciate you all. I am going to take a break, and maybe I'll come back on tomorrow and finish this off with you guys. So as always, don't forget to keep it over 9,000, guys. Take care, and see you later. It was great hanging out.